So hello students, Namaste. I am PBY. Now you all are knowing me because you are watching the video series. No, this is not just a single video. You are watching a series of videos, so you are knowing me now. And in today's class, we are going to learn about the numerical problem. And you know that you have already passed the class 11, and you have seen that only numerical problem always give you trouble. And so I will make you this numerical problem so easy for you, like the theoretical part which we discussed, and I think that you all are getting those video. And so in numerical is nothing, just if you are knowing theoretical part, then it's so easy for you to solve the numerical problem. There is nothing, it's just you feel that it's difficult, someone told, and you believe it that it's difficult, and so it becomes difficult for you. Otherwise numerical problems are so easy. Think you can solve the mathematical problems in mathematics. So many formulas you have learned, and you can do them. There are few formula only in physics to solve the numerical problem, and if you are getting this concept, then it's quite easy. And for example, just what I'll choose those questions only which you give you the concept, because I can't solve all the numerical problems. But if you fail problem, then you can post that problem in the comment, and then I will try to solve in the next video. Okay, and so for example, I am choosing one question from the Ohm's law, and see these questions I have already copied for you because it saves our time. Numerical problem is from the following figure, is figure given, and we have to find these things: effective resistance of the circuit, total current in the circuit, find V1 and V2, and V1 and V2 already labeled here. V1 is here and V2 is here. Likewise, current I1, I2, I3 and I4. This is your I, and this I1, I2, I3 and I4. These are all currents we have to solve. Okay, and what will be the value of I1, I2, I3 and I4 if we open this switch? When this switch is not working, this switch we have made this off. Then what will be change in the current of the above branch? Okay, and so this is the full conceptual question I have chosen for you. See, it's not difficult. I will make you understand. It's very easy. And if you solve this question, then I am quite sure that it will be easy for you to solve any problem based on the Ohm's law. And let's see, here the first question is find the effective resistance. Overall resistance, effective resistance means what resistance can replace these all bunch of resistances. And so to write it easily, we can write this, let's symbol A, B, C, so that I can easily write. I am writing this D and here is A. Okay, let's see this. First, these two are in the parallel. You know how to find the parallel net series. See, the current coming from here can go either from upper part or lower part. So if there is two choice for the current, then they are in parallel. And so here I have 3 ohm and 6 ohm are in parallel. So I find the resistance from B to C. B to C, they are parallel. I told you if they are parallel, then we have simple quick formula is product by sum. So let's multiply. Product means 6 3s are 18 and 6 plus 3 is 9. So you know this becomes the 2 ohm resistance. So I found from resistance from B to C. And you know that A to B is 2 ohm. So I can directly find from A to C. R from A to C will be equals to, that's R AB plus R BC. Tell me why? Because these two become the single one, and those two are in the series now. And so RAB is your 2 ohm, and this also you got the 2 ohm. So 2 plus 2 is 4 ohm. Overall resistance from A to C is 4 ohm. Now D to E. D2 is given is 12 ohm, itself given 12 ohm. So now we have, see this branch and this branch, both are in parallel because current I going from here divides in the two parts. One I1, another I2. If they are separate way to go current, they are in parallel. So now total resistance or equivalent resistance will be the product of these two branches. Product means there is one is 4, another is 12. Product is 4 into 12 by sum is 4 plus 12 is 16. You can cut it. 4 4s and 4 3s are. So what you get? Our all resistance is 3 ohm. So see, so is the question. What is first question? We solve it without any trouble. Okay, next, find the total current in the circuit. So now we got this first question. We have to find and solve here. And for second question, to find the total current, we should give the total voltage. Yes, total voltage is how much? Tell. Come on, you can tell. 12 volt. And so total resistance also we got. That is the 3 ohm. And now total current ohms law, this V by R. And so it's very easy. It's 12 upon 3 and you got it, it's become the 4 ampere current. Means this current you got 4 ampere. Means 4 ampere current is going from this point. Okay. And so total current is 4 ampere. So this question also solved. Now I have to get the first. Let's find this three number I1, I2, I3. Then it will be easier for us to solve that. Or you can directly solve. Okay, and let's solve first this question only. Otherwise I will tell that why this question is written before that. Okay, and so third question is we have to find voltage across AB. So this is already given V1. I told you voltage divider rule. If two resistors are in the series, then you can use the voltage divider. So I have to find the voltage across 2 ohm resistance. So I will write that's 2 ohm resistance. Now total resistance in that branch means this AB plus BC. So AB you have found, RAB is already given, that's the 2 ohm, and RBC you found. BC is how much? Tell me. RBC was 2 ohm. So 2 ohm. Okay, times total voltage. See this 12 volt battery is connected here also, right? So in parallel total voltage remains same. These and these are basically same point. These are the same point. So potential difference means difference of the potential between these 2 points. Means potential difference is same. So this 12 volt I can use. So 12 volt. Now tell me what will be 2 by 4 into 12. So 4 3 is 9. So we get this 6 volt. Means 6 volt will be along the AB. Okay. So next is the V2. Now you want to find the voltage across B to C. And so again the same thing, resistance of this branch you found that B to C resistance was, okay, B to C is again 2 ohm, and same thing is 2 upon 2 plus 2 is 4 into 12, and so 3 again it got plus 6 volt. Tell me why both are getting 6 volt? Because the resistance are same. Here also 2 ohm and here also 2 ohm. These two make the 2 ohm. So same voltage and current also same. Of course what happens? Same resistance and same current, then voltage will be also same. Means voltage divides equally. Okay. Next I have to find the I1, I2, I3 and I4. So this was the third question, and then there is a fourth question. Fourth question is I1. So to find the I1, see this voltage from D to A is known. D2 is known 12 ohm. So I1 will be total voltage across D to A. Tell me what? Parallel, same 12 volt. So that becomes the 12. And resistance between that 12. So 12 upon 12 will be equals to 1 ampere. So 1 ampere current flowing through this 12 ohm resistor. Okay, next tell me how to find I2. You can tell. Again same logic you use. Voltage is here known. V1 you already found. V1 is, how much V1? 6 volt. And what is the resistance in that? Resistance in that is 2. And so 6 by 2 is 3 ampere. Okay. So up to here no problem. 3 ampere current going from A to B, and here it comes, then it divides in these two. And I have told you the current divider also. Are you remembering? If not, then you have to go there and to watch that video to get the better concept. Still I am explaining here also. Okay, now next I have to find the I3. And I3 is from the upper branch, and current divider tells that if you want to find the current in 3 ohm resistance, then we have to take another resistance, that is 6 ohm. So this is the 6 ohm. Again total resistance in the parallel 3 plus 6. 3 plus 6 is 9. and total current coming from where is I2, and that I2 current, this is I2, and you know that 3 2 and 3 3 are, and so 2 upon 3, and I2 is also 3, and so 3 3 cut, and so you get 2 ampere current. Now from the upper branch you are getting 2 ampere, so of course you can find through the lower branch, because total current coming from is 3 ampere, and so 2 ampere going from upper, then you can tell that 1 ampere from the other branch. But still you can use the voltage current divider rule. Current divider rule says if you want to find current through this, then you have to take this resistance. That is the 3 by total is 3 plus 6, again 9, and total current was the 3 ampere. So 3 3 the 9, we get the 1 ampere current. So is this difficult? No, I don't think so. You are paying attention and it's not difficult for you. You are getting it, I am quite sure. Okay, and so we found this also, we solved for this. And what will be the value of the I2, I3 and I4 when switch is off? Means we have to redraw the circuit. In this case, what happens? This times if switch is off, then there is no branch left like this here. And so in that case, for the 5 we have to redraw the diagram, and this was our diagram. Let me draw it first. I am writing also, and okay, and so now that branch is not there, only this battery left, and this became so easy for you. Now this became the current, and if you want to give the same symbol, then it's the I2 dash. Okay, and here become the I3 dash, and this is I4 dash, and resistances are same, this 2 ohm, and this is 3 ohm, and this is the 6 ohm. Tell me, can you find it? Of course, again we will find the using voltage divider, we will find the voltage, and voltage in parallel remains same. So how much was the voltage before? Now also voltage is also same. So tell me, is there any difference? Any difference in this current? Nothing becomes different, and so I can tell this I2 dash will be same as the I2. Likewise, I3 dash will be equals to same as I3, and I4 dash will be equals to I4 only, because there is nothing is going to same there. Again, you find the voltage there, same result you will get. You find the voltage, you get the same result, and again using the current divider you will get the same result. So I2 will be equals to, how much you got I2? 3 ampere. Okay, and I3 you got the I3 is 2 ampere, so I3 is 2 ampere, and I4 is 1 ampere. So see this, there is no change. So what will be the value? There is no change in the value. There is no change in value of. There is no change in the value of I2, I3 and I4, even switch is off. So this question was to make you just a fool, and you will solve, and it will consume your time, and so that's why after getting the clear concept you will not confuse. And so this that's why I choose this question. There we have to find also we are using the current divider rule also, voltage divider also, and plenty of times we are using the Ohm's law also. So I hope you enjoyed this question. Let me move to the next question. So this is our second question. I have copied for you to save our time. Okay, what is the question? Resistance of 1000 ohm and 2000 ohm are placed in series with a 100 volt supply. Means supply, what will be the reading on a voltmeter of internal resistance 2000 ohm when placed across 1000 ohm and 2000 ohm respectively. There are two cases. Okay, and so let's see first part. First part is there are two questions. One question is when voltmeter conducted across 1000 ohm resistance. So question is telling we have two resistance, one resistance and another resistance. One is of 1000 ohm, other is 2000 ohm, and this is connected to the battery which has supply voltage of 100 volts. So this was our original question. Now question asks us, if I connect to here one voltmeter and this voltmeter have resistance. So for the time being I am writing the voltmeter resistance, that's a resistance of voltmeter. This is also 2000 ohm. It's given in the question, don't worry. Resistance of voltmeter is 2000 ohm, so 2000 ohm, and connected across the 1000 ohm resistance. So I have connected this. Okay, now question is what will be the voltage from here to here? Okay, and so this is a so easy question for us because we have technique of voltage divider. So let me write again here A, B, C. So that first we find the resistance from A to B. What will resistance from A to B? Tell me. They are in the parallel. I should not tell one again and again. Current coming here divides these two branches, so they are in parallel. And parallel, what was the formula? Just I told you. Tell. Ask. Product by sum? Yes, you are right. So product by sum means 1000 into 2000. That's the product by sum is 1000 plus 2000. So easy. That's a 3000. Okay, and so 1000 you got, and so what you get? 2000 divided by 3 ohm. So resistance from A to B. I got them 2000 divided by 3. Now I need to find the voltage across this. So very simply you can using voltage divider rule. Using voltage divider rule. What can you write? That's V1 equals to V1 rule equals to resistance from R A to B, and so this AB by total resistance RAB and RBC, and you tell me RAB times total voltage. The total voltage is V for the time being. So tell me what is RAB? RAB just you got, that's the 2000 upon 3, and denominator also 2000 upon 3 plus that's the 2000 and times total voltage is 100. Now it's very easy to solve. So let me write here. What will be here? 2000 divided by 3, and if you take the LCM here, then 3 LCM, so 3 to the 6 plus 2, 8000. 8000 by 3 times total voltage was 100. Now it's very easy for you to cut 3030, and so you 2 1 and 4, so you got the 100 upon 4. So what should be the reading? 25 volts. See this. If I connect voltage across the 1000 ohm resistance, then what would be? We just got the 25 volts. And first part for what? When voltmeter is connected across 1000 ohm. So this was the first part. Tell me what should be the second part? Second part is also very easy. This time we have that 100 volt source again here, and this time this 1000 ohm and there is 2000 ohm resistance, and you are connecting voltmeter here, and voltmeter has resistance you just learned, that's found this 2000 ohm and this was 2000 ohm. Okay, this is 1000 ohm, and this is the second part. Okay, and so second part again I have to find the, again I am writing this A, B, C. So tell me what will be resistance from B to C in this case. This was 100 volt, don't forget. Okay, and so you can tell R from B to C. R from B to C. There's 2000 parallel 2000, and I told you trick also, that's if same resistance are in parallel, then you divide just by number. So 2000 same resistance, and how many are there? There are 2. So 2000 divided by 2 is 1000, and this will be 1000. Otherwise you do have that product by sum. So this is a 4000, 2000 to the end, this again, so we get the 1000. So now becomes your resistance become 1000 ohm from B to C. RAB in this case, is just 1000 ohm. So now again using voltage divider rule. Again using voltage divider rule, you want to find voltage from here to here, that's I can tell this V2, and so this V2, this voltage will be equals to what should be from RBC, that's RBC, and total is RAB plus RBC times total voltage, and simply if same resistance are in the series, then my voltage will be half. So 100 half is 50 should be the answer. So very easy, 1000 divided by 2000 times 100, and so 1000 to the end, 250 the end, so you got the 15 volt voltage across RBC. Now see this, very interesting thing you will notice in this figure. You had 100 volt here, you got 25 volt here, 100 volt you got the 50 volt. So what should be the total? Total should be the 100 volt, no? But you are not getting. It's 25 plus 50. 25 plus 50 is 75, not the 100. So where is 25 volt go? Okay, will you guess? Will you try? Think. I'll give you time to think you. Okay, very easy answer for this. Okay, and so if this voltmeter has infinite resistance, then of course you will get the 100 volt. But there is a voltage only 2000 ohm. This is very small voltage. So this current divides in these two branches. So voltage, overall resistance of the circuit is affected, and so we are not getting the 100 volt. Your answer is completed. You can copy up to here, but you want to investigate. Let's see if there is no 2000 ohm resistance, and just you find the voltage, then what will be the voltage here? Let's see. Your question already completed. You no need to find this. Okay, just I am telling to give you concept. Okay, let me find this. Okay, and this time, if the voltmeter has infinite resistance, if you want to make question only, then a voltmeter internal resistance is infinite. So what will be the voltage across 1000 ohm? This will be so easy now. Now very simply you can find V1 equals to voltage divider. This is 1000. 1000 divided total is 3000, and total voltage is 100. So this 3 that, so you got the 100 upon 3, that's maybe 33.333 and so on. Okay, and so this much volt. And likewise, and voltage across, that's V2. V2 is same style you can do this. This time this is 2000 of total is 3000, and total voltage is 100. Solve it. This is, and so you got the 2000. Okay, and 2000 divided by 3. Okay, sorry, 200 divided by 3, and so this 6 3 is 18, 66.67 volt. Now check this, V1 and V2. If you sum, then V1 plus V2 is equals to 33.33 plus 66.67. Again you are getting the 100 volt. So see this. And so there was less voltage than 100 because of the low internal resistance of the voltmeter. So are you enjoying? You finish the second question also. Let's move to the third question. Okay, so our third problem is, I just copied it. In the given figure, what is the potential difference between B and D? And point B and D is given in your figure. This potential difference between point B and D is required to find. Okay. And so this is the first part. And second part, what resistance could you add to 12 ohm resistance? Means here we have to add some resistance. in the branch ADC, because 12 ohm is here also and 12 ohm here also, so they want to add in this branch. So ADC, how much resistance could be added here to get the potential difference between B and D? 0. So that's second part. Let's go to the first part. And so solution of this question is so easy for you because you have the great tool of potential voltage divider. So here is to write simple ways. Let me write this R1, R2 and this R3 and R4. Your name is already given, and so okay. And so tell me how can you find the voltage from A to B? That's very simple. VAB can be found using the voltage divider rule. See this, 6 volt here to here is 6 volt, and this 6 volt divided across R1 and R2. And this time I am finding the voltage across AB. And so VAB is resistance R1 by total resistance in series R1 plus R2 times total voltage we have given. And so let me put those values. Tell me, you can tell with me. Okay, 6 ohm plus 6 plus 12. Okay, 6 plus 12 is 18 times total voltage 6. And so 6 3 and 3 2, and so you got the 2 volt. One means voltage from potential difference between AB is how much? Potential difference between AB is 2 volt. Okay, and let me find the potential difference A to C, A to D. Okay, tell me same style. Next time your resistance R3 by totaling the series 12 plus 6 again, and that's the R3 plus R4. And again I am using the same technique because total voltage is same times total voltage, and so here is this time 12 by 18 into 6. So 6 3 and 3 4, so you got the 4 volt. Means this is, friend, you found the voltage from A to B and voltage from A to D, and we have to find the voltage from B to D. So potential difference from B to D, we will find potential difference of AD minus potential of that was the AB. And so there is the 4 volt and there is the 2 volt, and difference is 4 minus 2 is 2 volt. So it was so easy. It is easy because you have concept of the potential divider. Otherwise you have to find the equivalent resistance, then using the current, and so many things you have to do. But actually see, we finish this in a few minutes. Of course you can write that's given, what are given, that's if you want, then R1 equals to R2 equals to R3 equals to, go writing R4 equals to, and so on. And total voltage you can write 6 volt, 6, this is the 12 and this is the 12, this is 6 ohm, these are given. And you can write here using voltage divider rule. Voltage divider rule. So I am solving these questions using the very simplest straight technique which you can easily understand. Now let's move to the second part. And so what is our second part? Second part is what resistor could you add to the 12 ohm resistance? Means in 12 ohm resistance, what resistance you can add to get the voltage at B and D same. So that potential difference between B is 0. Now think yourself, if any resistance I connected in series, then resistance will be more here. And more resistance means potential difference will be more. Right? And it's already this it has more potential. So only one way is I have to connect some resistance here in the parallel. Okay, and so for the time being, let's see that the total resistance of these two is, what resistance I need to connect here is, for the time being I suppose this is R. Okay, and of course this R will be the parallel combination of those two resistance. For the time being I am supposing this resistance from A to D I require is RO. And so you are already familiar with the potential, that's voltage divider rule. So let me find the voltage from A to D. Voltage from A to D, can you tell me? Yes, this is R upon total resistance, R plus 6 times total voltage is 6. So what we get? 6 R upon R plus 6. So VA to D is this. And VAB same we have just now found, 6 upon 6 plus 12 is 18 upon 6, so we got the 2 volt. And what according to question, what is given? V B D is 0. It means V A B equals to V A D. A potential from A to B and A to D are same, then potential difference between B and D will be 0. So VAB, just now you told me that this is the 2 volt and VAD is 6R upon 6 plus R. So just solve it. 6 to the 12 plus 2R equals to 6R. So we got here the 4R equals to 12, and so R will be equals to 3 ohm. So let's see what we get. From place A to D, we should have resistance 3 ohm. 3 ohm to get the potential difference B2 to 0, right? But we had already here the 12 ohm resistance, but we require only 3 ohm resistance. So how can you get the less value of resistance? Only one way. Do you know? That is the connecting the resistance in the parallel. And so equivalent resistance I got 3 ohm. So I want here that resistance back. One is the 12 ohm resistance, one resistance you want to connect here. Okay, and so overall resistance is 3 ohm, one is 12 ohm already, and this resistance I don't know. So I suppose this is the X. X looks like the into, and so let me write the Y. Y is the resistance which we want to connect. Let Y be the resistance needed to connect across 12 ohm resistance. Then what can we say? We got the RAD equals to 3 ohm, and now it's parallel, and so product by sum. So 12 into Y is 12Y, and sum is 12 plus Y, which equals to 3. Now simply you can multiply, and 12Y equals to 12, 3 are 36 plus 3Y, and so 3Y, 12 minus 3Y is 8, so 9Y. Okay, 9Y, and so the equal 36, and Y equals to 36 upon 9, that's a 4 ohm resistance. So friends, what you got? If you connect 4 ohm resistance in parallel with the 12 ohm resistance, then you can get the potential difference between B and D 0. And so this was also a problem based, this third problem we did, this was also the problem based with on the Ohm's law. And so this, if you are knowing these 3 questions, then any question based on the Ohm's law can be solved. I am quite sure that you are learning well, and you are understanding, and you are enjoying these lessons. And so in second part of the novator problem, we will solve all the problems, and this video also going to be long, and so see you in the next video. Thank you very much.